Hi, this is Christiana Gaudet with more answers to your questions about tarot. Today's question comes from Isaac. His question is about shuffling and the role of the querent. He's been reading a number of different tarot books, which is great, but he's discovered what we all discover, that each tarot book says something different, or one book might say something's very important while it's not even mentioned in other books. So he came across a book that said that before you do a reading, you have to put the cards in full order and then let the querent shuffle them. And he seems to infer that the book says this is the only right way to do it. Now, those of you who have been watching my videos know something about me. I don't believe that there's any just one right way to do it when it comes to tarot. I will share with you what I believe and how I do it, but each of us needs to find what works best for us. So, his question to me is, does the deck need to be in a certain order to be shuffled? Who should shuffle the deck? What about the energy of the querent in a reading? What are my thoughts about this, and what do I do? Well, I'm happy to tell you what I do. First of all, putting the deck in order is a way of cleansing the energy. For me, the idea of ordering the deck between every reading is completely unrealistic. I'm a professional psychic. I am sure that the person who pays me by the hour at the party is not going to want to pay me to reorganize 78 cards between every 5-minute reading. It ain't happening. However, another way that you can cleanse the deck between readings is simply to shuffle it yourself and bang it on the table. That also sort of orders the energy. It is good at least once a month to put your deck in order. That is a very good way of bringing the energy back to a neutral place. But I think it's unrealistic. If you're going to be doing a lot of readings, it's unrealistic to do that between every single reading. And I do not believe that it's necessary, at least not for me. Now, I do not like to ask the querent to shuffle the deck. And the reason is this. Most people don't have tarot decks. Most people have playing decks that are significantly smaller than your tarot deck. When you give them the deck to shuffle, they don't know what they're doing. The cards fly all over the place. They get bent. I don't like it. That's just me. Now, also, I do a lot of my work on phone and Skype where the client can't touch the cards physically. So your question specifically was about the client's energy. And it may be that different readers feel different ways about this and that different people have different skills in terms of working with the client's energy. I do not need to have the client touch the cards. I do not need to be in the same room or even the same country with the client in order to do a good reading for them. That's me. You may find that your skills work differently, and that's okay too. For me, when I am reading with a client face-to-face, I will let them cut the deck. Now, tradition says cut the deck 3 times to the left with the left hand. That's not how I do it. I give the cards to the client and I say cut the deck any way you like and put it back together any way you like. Unless the client comes into my office coughing and sneezing on their hands. If that happens, they're not touching my cards. Sorry. That's how it is. In that case, I will cut the deck. So, I shuffle my own cards. If the client is present, I will often let them cut the deck, but to me, that's tradition. It's not energetically necessary at all. And yes, I think you do need to pay attention to the energy of your cards. And yes, putting them in order will cleanse the energy, but so will simply banging them on the table. That works too. And at least once a month, I think doing a good ritual cleanse of your deck. That can be smudging your cards with incense or sage. That can be putting them on the windowsill in the light of the full moon. and of course, putting them in order. But do you have to do that between every reading? In my mind, no, you don't. Isaac, I want to thank you so much for asking that question. And if you have questions about tarot, just email me and I'll make a video.